Hey there, homeschool families. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's crucial for every homeschooling parent, finding the perfect balance between structure and flexibility in our homeschool routines. I'm excited to share with you the inspiring journey of the Johnson family, Mark and Sarah, and their four children, Emily, Caleb, Sophia, and Noah. Their experience might just be the key to unlocking your own homeschooling success story. Like many of us, the Johnsons began their homeschool adventure with a highly structured approach. They had rigid schedules, strict curricula, and high expectations. But they quickly discovered that this one size fits all method was not working for their family. So, how did they transform their homeschool from a stress filled environment to a thriving, balanced learning atmosphere? Let's break it down. First, the Johnsons established core learning hours from 9 o'clock to 1 p.m. This time was dedicated to essential subjects like math, language arts, history, and science. It provided a consistent structure without being overly rigid. For the Johnson family, this is what a typical morning looks like. From 9 to 9:30, they would do a family devotional. From 9:30 to 10:30, they focused on math together. And then they took a much needed break, and everybody could stretch their legs and do a few things on their own. After the break, they did language arts from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. From 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, they usually did history or science. Now, you might wonder, how does this work with different age groups? The Johnsons use a combination of group activities and individual work time. During math time, Emily might be working on algebra, while Noah was practicing basic addition. Sarah moves between her children, offering her help as needed. After lunch, the Johnsons just keep everything flexible. This time is used for hands-on projects, nature walks, art, music, and independent study. It allows the kids to follow their own interests, own energy levels. Let's look at some examples of afternoon activities. So on Mondays, they would maybe focus on art projects and history lessons in the afternoons. On Tuesdays, they made sure they got outside, they did nature walks, and in the nature walks, they included their science experiments. On Thursdays, they took time to spend extra time with music and practicing. On Fridays, they did independent learning and research projects. This flexible approach allows for a deeper exploration of topics and interests for each child. You can do unit studies and different things together as a family. For instance, Emily's love for literature blossomed during these short afternoon sessions, leading her to start writing short stories. Every Saturday evenings, the Johnsons would gather together for a family planning session. They reviewed the last week, they discussed the upcoming week's goals, and let every child contribute their own ideas. It was a great way to get everyone invested in their education. During these sessions, they would review completed work and they would celebrate their achievement. They would set goals for the new coming week. They would discuss any challenges or concerns that they had. They would plan any special activities or field trips, and they would also assign chores and responsibilities to each child. This approach has dramatically increased the children's engagement in learning. One of the most valuable lessons that the Johnsons learned was to recognize and embrace unexpected learning opportunities. They realized that some of the best lessons are not planned. For example, a bird built a nest on their porch. It turned into a weeks-long study of bird behavior, habitat, and life cycles. Noah, who often struggled with attention span, was completely engrossed with this real-life science lesson. The Johnsons would conduct monthly check-ins and evaluate what's working and what isn't. they're not afraid to make changes when necessary. During these evaluations, they would consider many things. They would consider each child's academic progress. They would examine how the stress levels were and the emotional well being of each child. They would see if there was a need for additional resources or support in anything. This willingness to adapt has been crucial to their success. For instance, when they realized that Caleb was struggling with the original math curriculum they used, they weren't afraid to switch it up and to use different approaches mid-year. You might be thinking, that sounds great, but what about the challenges? And you're absolutely right. The Johnsons also faced their fair share of obstacles. Let's look at how they tackled them. So the one challenge they had was different learning styles. Each child, of course, had a unique learning style, making it difficult to use a one-size-fits-all approach. So they incorporated a variety of teaching methods: visual aids for Sophia, hands-on activities for Noah, discussion-based learning for Emily, and technology-aided instruction for Caleb. They also had trouble balancing individual needs. With 4 children at different levels, it was challenging to meet everyone's needs. So they created personalized daily checklists for each child, allowing for independent work alongside the group activities that they had planned. It's often difficult to balance homeschool with outside activities, and it can be overwhelming. So what the Johnsons did, they designated Wednesdays as their flexible day for outside activities like sports, practice, music lessons, and co-op classes. The Johnsons were also concerned that their children were going forward in the best way they each could possibly go. So what they did, they implemented regular assessments to gauge their progress. They also joined a local homeschool co-op that offered challenging courses in subjects like science and advanced math where it was needed. And to keep track of the progress of their children, they kept detailed portfolios of each child's work. They conducted end-of-unit tests in various ways, verbally, on paper, in whatever way their child learned the best. Participated in testing annually. They were making sure that their child could keep going and had learned enough that they felt comfortable with them going forward. They also sought feedback from co-op teachers and other homeschool parents to see where they thought their children were at. Some homeschool parents have socialization concerns, so they made sure they actively sought out opportunities for their children to interact with people of all ages. So this included participation in co-op classes. They involved their children in youth group and Sunday school. They did community sports, music ensembles. They scheduled regular play dates and field trips with other homeschool families. And they also did volunteer work in their community. These solutions helped the Johnsons create a balanced and effective homeschool environment. But what were the results? After the Johnsons implemented these strategies, the Johnsons saw significant improvements. Emily developed a deep love for literature. Her language arts skills improved dramatically. Caleb's math skills improved significantly when allowed to work at his own pace. He went from struggling with basic concepts to excelling in advanced math courses. Sophia's anxiety decreased and she became more confident with her abilities. The flexible schedule allowed her to take breaks when feeling overwhelmed, resulting in better focus and retention. Noah's attention span increased and he developed a particular interest in science experiments. His hands-on learning style flourished with the new approach. Through their experience, the Johnsons learned several valuable lessons that can benefit any homeschool family. They learned that flexibility is key. Be willing to adjust your schedule and methods as needed. It will allow you to meet each child's unique learning needs. Flexibility is important, but having a consistent core routine provides stability for your children. It helps your children feel secure. Include your children in the planning and decision-making, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility for their education. To recognize and nurture that each child's unique gifts and learning style, and it will lead them to greater engagement and success in learning. It's important to keep faith central. Integrate biblical principles and prayer into your homeschool routine. It strengthens your family bonds and provides a strong foundation for learning. Connecting with other homeschool families is important. Participating in co-ops, providing support and guided support, resources, and socialization opportunities. Balance is an ongoing process. Finding the right balance between structure and flexibility requires constant evaluation and adjustment. So, how can you apply these lessons into your day-to-day homeschool? For number one, I would say start with prayer. Begin each day with a family devotional, seeking God's guidance for your homeschool. Create a routine, but be flexible about it. Establish core learning hours for essential subjects, but leave room for exploration and spontaneity. Use a variety of teaching methods to cater to each child's learning style. Embrace real-world learning. Look for opportunities. Foster independence. Create individual checklists or assignments to help the children take ownership for their learning. Stay connected. Join a homeschool co-op or support group to share resources and experiences with other families. Regularly reassess. Schedule monthly evaluation sessions to discuss what's working and what needs to be adjusted. Remember, every homeschool family is unique, and what worked for the Johnsons may need to be adapted to your family. Fully consider your family's needs. Be willing to experiment and remain flexible. Proverbs 16 verse 3 reminds us, "Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established." As you continue your homeschool journey, here are some final tips. Be patient with yourself and your children as you find a rhythm. Make sure you celebrate small victories along the way, and don't be afraid to think outside the box and try unconventional methods of schooling. Remember that character development and spiritual growth are just as important as academic success. Take time to enjoy the unique opportunity that you have to shape your children's education and spend quality time with them. Are you inspired to make any changes in your routine? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more homeschool tips and inspiration. Remember, you're doing great work, and your efforts are making a lasting impact on your children's lives. Until next time, happy homeschooling.